already created a YouTube page. Pakita ko na lang. So dito ko i-upload lahat. Ano ba yun? Teka. Playlist ba yun? Yan. So, I uploaded everything dito kasi wala akong ibang way para ma-upload siya ng formal. So, I created sub-playlist and then later magkakaroon pa to ng additional para doon sa structural detailing. So, na-upload ko na pala dito, class, by the way, yung ating recording last meeting. Ayan, para sa both sections. So, yun. Isi-send ko na lang yung link of all the recordings doon na lang sa Teams para you may visit that. Huwag nyo na munang i-try i-access yung recording natin dito kasi hindi talaga siya gagana. Ayan, lumalabas sa akin. Actually, ito yung kanina, katatapos lang na class. Hindi talaga siya nag-upload kasi wala daw space yung OneDrive. Nung chinek ko yung OneDrive ni PUP, so may kailangan ng IT issues. I think merong kaming napag-usapan about that. So sa IT na yon yung concern na yon. So kaya double work lang sa akin, dina-download ko, then I am uploading it sa YouTube. So yun, I will be sharing this one with you later. Yun. Pwede nyo rin i-view yung recording ng kabilang class kung gusto nyo lang. Baka sakaling may mapulot kayong nasabi ko doon or napag-usapan namin na wala dito sa na hindi ko nabanggit sa class nyo. Anyway, yun. I already forwarded the class list. In case na yung class rep kailangan mo ng list of all the students na naka-enroll sa sa subject natin. Tapos para matrack nyo kung sino pa yung hindi pa naka-enroll and matanong nyo if they will want to enroll the subject for this semester. Okay, so let's start with the discussion ng syllabus. So briefly ko lang muna define or give the course description. So for the course description, this course is an introduction of the detailed drawings of cross-section, connection, and different elevation profiles of structural members that are commonly used in construction. It is also designed to help the learner understand the stability, strength, and stiffness of the structures that will be used in the construction making. So, all throughout the course, the expectations nyo sa akin, isuturo ko sa inyo paano gumawa ng details to understand where those details came from, to understand why is that detail look like that, and at the same time, what are the details necessary, sections, elevations, necessary para translate nyo yung plano na gustong ipalagay ng engineer or kung kayo magiging engineer balang araw sa plan para maintindihan yung mga plano natin ng mga taong magko-construct ng ating project. So yun yung expectation nyo sa akin, ituro ko yun. Ang expectations ko naman sa inyo is for you to learn and understand and to create yung mga details na or mga connections, mga sections, profiles, elevations na ituturo ko, maiintindihan nyo, alam nyo kung para saan, at alam nyo paano gawin. So, yun yung expectations ko naman sa inyo at the end of this semester. Okay? For this subject. Now, for week 1, na hindi tayo nag-meet last time, so, ang i-discuss ko na lang dito is the course syllabus, the goals and expectations. So, I already said it. And then, the discussion of the course requirements. Then we will be discussing also the course introduction. So i-explain ko kung bakit ba natin kailangan gawin yung structural detailing, para saan siya, anong benefit nun. Tapos saan nagmumula yung structural detailing. Okay? So there's a module provided by the department. Pakita ko lang siya side by side with this one para lang alam nyo na whatever is in this teaching plan, teaching and learning plan, etong mga topics na to under the syllabus. So it's also in here. Okay, for the lesson 1, that is the introduction to structural detailing. So ito yan. I-discuss natin to. By the way, for this first part of the module, it's just discussing yung purposes niya kung para saan siya. Yun din naman yung i-discuss ko later. Then, for lesson 2, on week 6, sorry, mali. Dito pala, course introduction pa lang pala. Introduction. Tapos, yung susunod, introduction to detailing. Ito siya, introduction to detailing and drawings. And then, lesson 3, sa week 6, that is steel reinforcement. Ito. Ayan. Lesson 4, sa week 10 to 13, structural steel connections. By the way, for the structural steel versus dito, ito yung mga rebars, reinforcement. Ito yung mga structural steel tulad ng mga white planche, yung pa letter I na bakal, angle bar, C-channel, tubular. So dito yon. Saan ba yun? Ito, structural steel to. Ay, hindi. Steel reinforcement pa yan. Ito, structural steel and connections. Ayan. Then, week 14 to 17, reinforced concrete, structural members, RC. Yung concrete may halong bakal. Ayan. Then, yun lang. So, bali 5. As you can see, maiksi lang yung syllabus. Tsaka yung module. Pero, magtatagal tayo yung in-depth discussion. Paano siya ginagawa, para saan siya ginagawa. So, yun. Now, for the requirements, I will be discussing it later para malaman natin kung or para maturo sa inyo talaga kung paano gawin at makagawa kayo ng example. Okay. So, let's proceed with the course outline. Requirements. Okay, structural detailing. Nabasa. This course is an introduction. Nabasa ko na pala to kanina. So, it's for the drawings of the cross-section, connection, different elevations of structural members commonly used in construction. It is also designed to help the learner to understand stability, strength, and stiffness of the structure that will be used in construction making. So hindi lang kayo dapat marunong gumawa ng detalye, dapat naiintindihan nyo kung bakit nyo ginagawa. Yun yung isa kasing difference nyo dapat with any other drafter or any other modeler kasi since you will be later on pursuing yung mismong civil engineering na since nakaladerize kayo. Yun, your course, your know-how on how to create or on how to design later on will somewhat make you understand yung stability, strength, and stiffness of the structure. Pero having said that, na hindi pa kayo purso pa ng CE. So I will discuss a very brief overview kung paano siya ginagawa, the processes, etc. Para yun nga, mas madali sa inyong gawin yung mga details. Based sa experience ko kasi, yung mga drafter namin, since like architectural drafter, mga archi, or yung mga drafter, yung drafting lang talaga, yung parang technical drafting lang talaga yung natapos. Magaling naman gumamit ng software, kaya lang hindi naiintindihan kung para saan. That maybe the reason why is that hindi naman din kasi naging part ng teaching sa kanila kung paano kung ano yung content kasi for us to understand yung mga strength, stiffness, may kinalaman na yan dun sa other subjects sa civil engineering, may I say. So yun, yun yung isa sa i-emphasize natin later. Actually, within the day. Okay? For the grading system, so it's divided into 2 CS and major exam. So nasabi ko naman na din to sa BIM. So basically, same concept. I'm adjusting it to 60-40 and then instead of having a project unlike sa BIM, so you will be having plates. So for the plates, will require you ito. For the plates, I will be requiring you to look for a two-story residential. So it will be a group of 2. So dalawa kayong gagawa ng plate. So ngayon, I think kayo yung class na all more than half ata yung walang access sa computer. Tama ba? Check ko lang ha. Doon sa ano natin. Record sa... hindi. Marami. 22/13. Ayan. Sige. So yun. Since group of 2. Pero, I will be creating a poll right now. So while listening, please please answer yung poll for the plates. So do you prefer manual drafting, AutoCAD, or Revit? Take note, sa Revit, hindi ko siya ituturo pero mag-upload ako ng recording. Okay? Then, sa manual, kung gusto nyong gumamit ng yung manual mismo, yung magmamano-mano kayong sulat, like gagamit ng triangle, T-square, etc. So kung AutoCAD, ayan. So for detailing yan, for detailing purposes. So please respond bago tayo matapos para alam ko kung ano yung preference nyo. Okay? Kasi kapag kung sino man nanalo dito, yun ang pagagawa ko sa inyo. Kaya please be mindful. I-check nyo din kung gaano kayo ka-confident doon sa gagawin. Pero take note that even though ngayon nakikita ko na even though na parang lumalamang yung CAD na hindi Revit if possibly yung manalo. I will be still sending you the recording for that para meron kayong pag-aralan. Okay? Para meron kayong pagsampulan. Kumbaga meron kayong dagdag knowledge. Okay, so ganun din, I will be sending you where are you going to find the recordings for Revit. Okay, so gagawin natin, you need to provide at least 2-story residential group of 2. So magkampihan kayo ngayon. Pero I would suggest since most of you may computer access, as much as possible yung counterpart nyo dapat walang access sa computer para dalawa kayong gagawa. So nasa sa inyo kung paano nyo paghahatian, paano kayo magtutulong-tulong doon sa access sa computer kasi hindi kasi po pwedeng wala kayong may provide na output sa plate unless magma-manual tayo. Okay? So pag-usapan niyo 'yon. Ang task ko para sa class representative is to talk to your classmates na naka-enroll sa subject natin and make them decide sino yung members nila. Next meeting, i-submit mo sa akin, class rep, yung list of members tapos sino yung magkaka-group para yun yung i-preparing ko doon sa grading sheet ko. Okay? And then, yun, for other requirements, quizzes, works assignments, so at least 4. So every meeting, every term, so midterm, final exam, finals term, so take 2. Okay, ganun din sa plates. Then, babalikan ko lang yung plano, minimum to 100 square meter per floor area, ibig sabihin 100 square meter yung ground floor, then 100 square meter yung second floor. Concrete structure dapat, then may roof framing. Yun yung simpleng bahay lang na may bubong, wag naka-roof deck. Okay? Then kailangan nyo siyang approve muna sa akin, paunahan kayo, dapat wala kayong kapareho. Okay? Grading system. Alam niyo na yan. Na-discuss ko na rin naman na to nung nakaraan. Pati policies. Ayan. So, na-discuss ko na rin ito nung BIM. Same lang din. Okay? So, let's proceed with the introduction to detailing. Yung module 1 natin. So, for the introduction to detailing, structural detailing. So, this course is an introduction of the detailed drawings of cross-section, ulitin ko ulit, connection, and different elevation profile of structural members that are commonly used in constructions. It is also designed to help the learner understand the stability, strength, and stiffness of the structures that will be used in the construction making. So at the end of the session today, so ito yung expectation, ito yung learning objectives o yung i-expect nyo sa akin na maituro ko sa inyo. Una is for you to understand the concept of structural design analysis. So paano natin ginagawa yung structural design analysis? Analyze the application of structural design analysis in the construction process. Paano ba natin ina-apply sa construction process? And then lastly, what are the different drafting and drawing equipment, methods, and techniques to structural detailing? So yung mga methods, kung ano yung mga pwede nating gawin or avenue for us to create the structural detail. So first is the concept of structural design analysis. So it is an engineering process of evaluating the structure's safety, strength, and stability under various loads and stresses, including self-weight, wind, and seismic forces. So pag-usapan muna natin tong unang part na to. So pagka nagsimula na yung design process, so hindi bago tayo makapag-produce ng mga drawings na gagawin ng mga drafter, etc. So we need to evaluate first yung safety, strength, and stability under the various loads. Ito, and stresses. So pakita ko ano ba yung mga binabanggit diyan. So ulitin natin. So for example, we have gagawa tayo ng bahay. Sample. Block. Okay? Sabihin natin, may bahay tayo. Yan. And then, may bubong. Okay? Ayan, bubong. Then, kunwari, ito, yung second floor. Ayan. Now, for us to determine what would be the required materials, dimensions ng mga column, mga beam, girder, slab. So, ginagawa muna natin yung analysis. So, based sa mga loading. So, there are two types of loading na apply natin sa isang structure. Una is the vertical loads. The other one is the horizontal load or lateral load. So for the vertical, those are the loads of being applied vertically or by gravity. Okay, pababa siya, ganyan. So we apply that vertical load sa level of the floor na hindi naka-elevate. For example, ground floor. So, di ba yung mga bahay hindi naman nakaangat yan? So, that is that hindi kasama yung ground floor kasi naka-slab on grade, meaning pag tinampakan mo na ng lupa, kahit gaano kabigat yung dumaan diyan, so it won't matter kasi safe naman. Ngayon, maliban na lang kung may basement. Kung may basement, may loading din siya. Pero considering mo nang wala, yung simple lang. So there are various loads na pwede nating i-apply sa second floor. Ano yon? Simulan natin sa dead load. So ang dead load, ang mga content niyan is ano ba yung mga gamit sa bahay or ilalagay natin na i-install sa bahay na hindi gumagalaw, dead nga eh. So cabinet, ayan, ano pa? Washing machine kung nasa second floor yung tiles. Kung maglalagay tayo ng mga flooring, mga table, kama, ganyan. So lahat ng yun, meron siyang equivalent values sa National Structural Code of the Philippines, NSCP. So meron dong table, hahanapin mo lang doon ano yung equivalent load niya. Aside from that, we also have another part of the dead load, the MEPF. So eto, kunwari, sa ilalim ng floor na to, meron kang ducting ng, let's say, ng mechanical, meron kang mga electrical wiring, meron kang mga plumbing, meron kang mga ano pa, fire protection, yung mga sprinkler and everything. So lahat yon kasama, meron din yung value dapat. Another thing is yung wall load. So kunwari ito yung biga mo sa kanan, sa kaliwa. So may pader ka 'di ba na nakapatong diyan, yung gawa sa hollow blocks. So meron siyang equivalent wall load. And then aside from this, so class yung etong mga to is not limited naman. Depende kung ano yung ilalagay mo, pero ito yung common na makikita natin. Now, aside from these three, another vertical load is the live load. Si live load naman, of course, yan na yung mga tao na mag-occupy ng floor na dinedesign natin. Now, nakadepende yung ating floor sa occupancy or yung live load ng floor sa occupancy. Ano yung occupancy? So, ano yung purpose ng second floor? Is it residential? Mga kwarto lang ba? Is it hospital? Is it hotel? Is it mall? So whatever the occupancy may be, so meron siyang equivalent value depende na nakalagay sa NSCP. So lahat sila may nakalagay naman sa NSCP. Okay? And then apart from the vertical loads, so we have the horizontal or the lateral load, which is the earthquake load, tsaka wind load. So earthquake, of course, yan yung movement ng soil pagka lumindol. Yung wind load, yan naman yung pagka may bagyo or malakas ang hangin. So all of these loads are considered sa structure para malaman mo ano yung mga stresses sa mga poste na to, ano yung mga stresses sa mga biga, okay? Kumbaga yung kilogram or yung pressure or yung force applied sa floor na tinransfer sa column, ma-identify natin ilan yung force or moment or pressure na applied doon sa mga structural members such as beam, column, slab, girder. Ayan. So once na we know that, so ang process na to ay ginagawa sa structural analysis. So we can now go sa structural design. So sa structural design, we apply if it is a concrete structure or steel or timber. So pag concrete, gawa yan sa reinforced concrete, sa bakal na rebar, tsaka sa concrete na cement, sand, and gravel. Pag steel naman siya gawa, so gawa siya sa yung mga white flange, angle bar, si channels, and so on. Pagka timber naman, pwede siyang pagka timber naman, pwede siyang gawa sa kahit na anong timber as long as, or kahoy, as long as na suitable siyang mag-carry ng load. Okay, meron tayong table of the Philippine timbers na applicable for construction, and then ano yung mga strengths nila, ano yung mga capacity nila. Ayun. Going back with the presentation, ayun. So yun nga, once na niran mo yung loading, engineers use mathematical calculations and computer simulations to predict structures, response, determine internal forces and stresses, and ensure it meets required performance standards and building codes. So yun nga sinasabi ko, pagka natapos ka sa structural analysis sa taas, punta ka sa structural design. Mag-a-apply ka na ng mga materials dyan, tapos ano yung performance niya based sa code. Ang code natin yung NSCP. Now, the goal is to create a safe, functional, and efficient structure by integrating into analysis. Para mas ma-appreciate nyo ng husto, may i-open akong software. Ito pinakita ko to sa kabilang section din eh. Ayan. So, normally, i-model yung structure. Ito ano to, pang structural design to. Minomodel yung structure in a way na saan ba nakalocate yung mga poste. Meron yung mga equivalent lengths. Ayan. May in meters. Tapos, we nominate yung dimensions of the cross section. Okay? Nung beam, tsaka netong column. So, ninonominate natin yan. And then, we apply the loads ng ating structure. Sample for the dead load, ayan. So, ina-apply natin yung mga ano na yan, mga references na yan. And then, live load, ayan. So, earthquake, and earthquake. Ay, hindi, nakaano pala to. Ayan, wind load. Ayan, wind load. Okay. Earthquake, ayan. Sa earthquake, hindi lang siya isang direction. Minsan umiikot pa yung earthquake natin. Nagro-rotate yung earthquake on clockwise or counterclockwise. Depende per direction. Pwedeng dyan, pwede pa kabila yung ikot, pwedeng nasa kabila, tapos pa kabila yung ikot, pwede rin nandito, ayan, kabila yung ikot. So yun, yan yung mga loadings na ina-apply. Now, after these loadings are being considered, so that's the time na iaran yung analysis. So, etong skeleton na to, meron na yung corresponding thickness. Like for example, ito, may section na siya. Ito yung length niya, yung haba niya, tapos ito yung cross-section measurement niya na denominate ko. Now, ang itsura niyan ay mali. For the 3D, ang itsura niyan is ganito. Tapos, i-run kapag merong member ng structure na hindi nasa-satisfy yung dimensions or kunwari masyado maliit. So, kailangan kong lakihan yung cross-section. Katulad nito, di ba, nakita niyo 0.3 by 0.3. So, that is 300 by 300 mm. So, pwede ko siyang gawing 300 by 350 kung bagsak. Ngayon, kung pasado, itatry ko siyang paliitin hanggang doon sa allowable. For example, subukan ko maging 250 by 300 kung pasado siya sa 300 by 300 para lang makamura ng materials. Kasi although pasado, minsan yung ninonominate natin, hindi pwedeng yun na kaagad. Kasi we don't normally want that kasi nga gusto pa nating mapamura yung structure as long as safe, as long as pasado. Okay? Now, after so many configurations, tapos mag-a-analyze, nag-run on my end. Ayan. And then, yan, wala na siyang warning. Alam ko walang warning to eh. Then, output file. And then, ayan. So, makakapag-produce siya ng result. So, sabi dito, yung beam 22. Nasaan yung beam 22? Ito. Ito daw yung length niya. Ito yung cross-section niya. Tapos, ito yung number of bakal. So, yan yung i-detail natin. Now, trabaho ng engineer once na matapos na siya, i-relay na niya sa drafter yung mga i-detail or i-detail niya kung wala siyang drafter, kung siya mismo gagawa, i-detail niya to. Okay? So, once na ma-detail niya to, so yun, detailing yun. Yun yung structural detailing actually. Part of structural detailing. Kailangan maintindihan, pag sinabi mong ganito yung dami ng bakal, paano yung latag ng bakal? Saan siya nakalagay? Ganun. Okay? Then, ayun. Yun yung process on how we do the analysis and how we do the design. Okay? I hope clear siya, class. Then, what are the key aspects? So, eto nga, yung sinasabi natin. We do the analysis, okay, based sa loads. Okay, yung dead load and live load, yung earthquake wind load, para makalculate mo yung mga forces or stresses or strains, tsaka displacement. Then, after that, kapag may mga computation ka na nag-a-apply sa mga members, so pwede ka na mag-nominate ng sizes by trial and error or pwedeng using trial and error ng software na para mas mabilis ang calculation. Pwede ring manual ang calculation class. Kahit nagpakita ko ng software, kaya siyang gawin manually. Okay, so using that, the structural design process naman ang next step. So that's the time na you will be selecting materials. Ano bang gagamitin mo? Timber, concrete, or steel. And then you specify dimensions na pasado later on. Tapos create structures geometry to withstand calculated loads safety. Ayun. I hope clear siya, class, kasi pinakita ko naman kung paano yung although very quick, paano yung run through on how we progress with the analysis to decide. Take note, hindi pwedeng analysis lang kasi mga loads lang yan. Pag walang analysis at pagka may analysis, walang design, so wala kang magagawang plano, wala kang magagawang detail. Ngayon, kung wala ka namang analysis tapos design lang, hindi ka makakagawa ng design kasi wala kang mga forces, etc. Kasi yun yung basis for the design. So they comes hand in hand. Then yun nga, load. So ito yung sinabi natin kanina. And then lastly, yung material and geometry. So nasabi na rin natin to kanina. Whether steel, concrete, or timber, and then yung concrete can be made in rectangular or circular. Basta may rebar, hindi pwedeng wala. Steel, pwedeng in white flanges, yung pa-I-beam, angle bar, C-channels, and then ano pa ba? Tubular. Then timber, pwedeng circular kung ano mismo yung size ng puno, o kaya naman pwede mong tabasin yung kahoy para maging rectangular. Okay? Ayun. And then for the structural design analysis process, so nasabi na natin to kanina, so we model, we add the loadings to analyze. After that, we perform calculations for the loads. So para makuha mo na yung mga forces or stresses na mag-react na sa mga members. Right after that, you can now proceed with the design. And then lastly, detailing. Ayan. Okay? Then, the importance of the structural analysis. So bakit ba natin ginagawa? Okay. So ang importance doon is that first is the safety. It ensures the structures are safe for users and can withstand expected forces without failure. Unlike unlike before, I'm not sure on how they do calculations ng mga sinaunang panahon. Pero nagwi-withstand. Pero kasi considering yung point of view na pagka hindi mo kinonsider yung mga lindol, hindi mo kinonsider yung bigat ng mga gamit na ilalagay mo, so maaaring hindi maging safe yung structure mo, ma-overload. Or ma-overload ka, kumbaga maglagay ka na maglagay na mabigat sa isang structure, gumuho. Ayaw nating mangyari yon. Efficiency, it helps engineers to create cost-effective and optimized structures. So as I've said before, di ba, we nominate sizes for the initial sizes. Kapag kapasado, pwede mong liitan hanggang bumagsak siya, tapos doon ka lang sa pinakamaliit na sizes na pasado. So optimized siya. Now, if it is failing sa first trial, so you need to increase the size hanggang pumasa. So ibig sabihin, ganun din, na-optimize mo siya sa pasadong sizes. Okay? Compliance, so we adhere to local codes and performance standards. The important for this one sa atin is the NSCP, the National Structural Code of the Philippines. And then reliability, it provides confidence that the structure will perform as intended throughout its service life. Okay? Then, so for the structural detailing in the construction process, okay, it is the process of translating conceptual engineering design into detailed fabrication-ready drawings and specification for structural elements like beams, columns, and connection. Plus, again, the importance of this one, using the details that you're gonna provide, it makes it will make the project workable para sa construction kasi it should be fabrication ready or constructable siya. Meaning, kung meron kang plano at meron kang detail, for example, the connection of the beam and column, if it is workable, so ibig sabihin, walang problema yung detail na pinrovide mo. Kasi naiintindihan at kayang sundin at makatotohanan. At tugma doon sa plano. Now, kapag hindi, so there would be a problem. So kailangang i-alter or kailangang ulitin yung detail or kailangan mag-provide ng proper detail para maitayo ng tama yung tinatayo sa construction. Kasi without that, ang gagawin ng mga nasa site is sila yung gagawa ng sketch kung paano yung pinopropose nilang detail, gagawa sila ng shop drawings. Ngayon, ipapa-approve nila sa designer kung hindi sufficient yung binigay ni designer na detail. Now, once it is approved, so magiging part na yon nung ating plan. Now, again, so instead of waiting for the construction engineers to create a drawing for you, mas magandang ikaw kasi ikaw naman dapat ang gumagawa ng detail na yon. Okay? Then, it also provide precise dimension, is materials specs. So para hindi sila magkamali sa sukat, hindi sila magkamali sa materials na bibilhin, sa klase ng connection, connection types, and assembly instruction. Serving as a crucial guide, yun na nga sinasabi natin, for fabricators and constructors to ensure that the structure is built safely, accurately, and to the exact design intent. This process ensure code compliance, so paulit-ulit, it facilitates communication among architects, engineers, and builders, and transform abstract design to tangible, buildable reality. So what are the detailing techniques? Ano ba yung mga pwede nating gamitin para gumawa ng detail? Una, manual. So ano ba yung sa manual? So gagamit ka ng drawing table or drawing board, T-square, triangle, stack pen, mechanical pencil, etc. On the other hand, ang sumunod na technology doon is CAD, computer-aided drafting. So ang pinaka-common na software na ginagamit is AutoCAD. Parang basically nagda-draft ka pero sa computer. Now, nag-evolve pa yon para may 3D, naging computer aided design modeling. So, nagmo-model sa computer para doon na din patatakbuhin yung mga calculations, and then minsan yung model na yon, yun na rin yung pina-process to create the detail or pwedeng separate software like kunwari ginawa mo yung calculation sa STAAD. Si STAAD, alam ko wala itong pinakita kong software na to. Wala itong function na pwede magbigay ng detail. So pwede mo siyang gawin sa Revit. Ayun. So pero basically, so it's a modeling. Alright, I hope clear class clear yung tatlong yun ha, yung what are the different techniques. So yan yung pinapapili ko sa inyo sa poll na I think AutoCAD yung nanalo. So that's the end of this module. Just going back with the objectives. So you already know the concept of the structural design analysis. Paano ba siya ginagawa? Yung application of structural design analysis sa construction project, lalo na yung importance niya kung bakit natin kailangan siyang gawin for the construction process. And lastly, the different drafting and drawing equipment, methods, and techniques to structural detailing. Hindi ko lang masyadong dinetail to kasi marunong na kayo tsaka magaling na kayo dito I would assume magaling na kayo dito. Etong sa modeling baka hindi pa kasi this is a separate din naman software. So yun nga, having na I will be creating a quick tutorial, siguro mga 5 to 10 minutes per topic. So I will be glad to upload that to share with you para later pwede nyo masabi sa sarili nyo na somehow marunong na ako, marunong ng konti or knowledgeable na pagdating sa additional software. Para may dadagdag kayo sa sa CV nyo. Tsaka malay nyo magkaroon kayo ng mga future projects. So you can use that knowledge along the way. Now, may nagtanong sa akin, may nagsabi sa akin kasi nagtanong ako sa kabilang section, kailangan nyo pa ba ng additional tutorial for AutoCAD? Ang sabi for 3D, sige, I'll try to create one for 3D, yung mabilisan lang. Pero more on, nasa sa inyo na yun paano nyo i-apply. Like, what are the different topics? So, in 5 to 10 minutes short video, then it's up to you on how are you going to apply that sa actual project nyo. Pero yung process, I will teach you whatever things that I already know in terms of this software. Okay? Any question? Wala. Actually, guys, mabilis lang naman yung topic natin for today. So let me just end the record of the session. And then download ko lang yung attendance list. Ayan. So balikan ko yung class rep. Pag-usapan uli natin itong